Marvel Legends, a series of figures that I have evaded for the longest of time. And the sad fact is, I'm a comic book fan. I read the comic books, and I have only ever owned 3 Marvel Legends in my entire life. As some of you guys know, if you're familiar with the channel, I mainly just buy Transformers.
But that might change today, because today we are looking at Maximum Series Spider-Man.
But before we take a look at the figure himself, we gotta take a look at the truckload of accessories this guy has come with. And so, as you guys can see here, 2 of his heads, one of them is a Peter Parker face head sculpt, and I gotta say, it does not look good. I don't know any comic book run that has had this style of Peter Parker head, especially not the Todd McFarlane run, which is what this Spider-Man is based off of. None of them have I ever seen his head look like that. And the other Spider-Man head is alright. It kind of has one eye kind of squinted, but they didn't pull it off too good. It kind of just makes it look like he's kind of blinking. I don't enjoy either of these head sculpts, but they're alright, but I kind of don't really like them at all. And as you guys can see here, he comes with many swap out hands. My favorite probably being the ones with webs coming out of them. I just feel like that's going to be the most useful when posing him around on a shelf.
And these are the last of the accessories. He comes with a web shield like Captain America. I believe this is the same type of piece as Captain America. Comes with that few web lines that he can use, and a web grabby thing, and that thing.
Now on to the main dish himself, Spider-Man. And now, before I say anything about this figure, I would like to state that I am trying not to bring up the price while I'm looking at him, and I'm going to purely judge him by whether he is a good figure or not. I've seen way too many people judge this guy, mainly on the price. And I just think that maybe it would be a good change to actually just review him for being a figure. And no, I'm not a Hasbro glazer. I am very critical of them, especially on the Transformers side of things. I have several videos criticizing them on their Transformers side of things. But yeah, I just kind of want to judge this figure on being a figure himself and not over the whole, oh, he's Maximum, it's the price, even though I did put price in the thumbnail, but still. And just first off, moving him around, playing with him, his plastic just feels oddly just gummy for some reason. None of my Transformers figures from Hasbro feel this way, but his joints feel some sort of tight, gummy way to where I feel like if I push on him too much, he'll break, and that is not a good feeling. And that kind of makes him hard to move around and pose around, especially on camera, because I just feel like on his arms and legs and his limbs, I just feel like they're going to break anytime I touch him, and that's not a good feeling in the slightest. I should not be feeling that. And speaking of articulation, he also has drop-down legs, and if you don't know what drop-down legs mean, it's where if you pull the figure's leg down, it gives him more range of motion to kick, which, yes, that's a cool feature, a little unnecessary because he doesn't get that much more kick out of it, but overall still a nice feature to include on him. And on this figure, they were going for the Todd McFarlane look. He actually has his own toy company, so they're not going to call him that version of Spider-Man. But I think that this figure does that version of Spider-Man in that art style just as pretty good. And that is one of the reasons I was drawn to this figure. I've waited almost a year, 9 months, 10 months to get this figure because, like I said before, I didn't want to mention the price tag, but the price tag was a little heftier and I wanted to see people get it before I pre-ordered it. But yeah, no, he looks just almost straight off one of those comic panels, and that's good for me because that is one of my favorite Spider-Man run in the comics, at least art style wise. And for size comparison, here's him next to another Marvel Legends 6-inch figure that I have. And here is him also next to 86 Megatron. I know that's probably a bad size comparison, but there you go. There's him next to 86 Megatron. And although this guy has some flaws, I still think that this is a pretty good figure. I feel like he is one of the only figures to capture the Todd McFarlane art style. And even though his price tag is pretty high, I did enjoy this figure pretty much. And if you're on the fence about getting him, I would say get him. He's pretty cool. I give him an 8 out of 10. And that was all for today's video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I know it's been a while since I've posted a Transformers related video. The next video will probably be Transformers related. I'm thinking I'm going to make a Dark of the Moon review, but I'm not too sure. Unless something comes up that I just really want to talk about. But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.